Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're jumping right into your source material, the introduction to biology.
A great place to start.
Right. And the mission is pretty simple. We just want to rapidly break down the fundamentals.
What defines life and how is it all put together?
Exactly. From the smallest scale all the way up.
And the word biology itself, it kind of gives us a great starting point.
The etymology, you mean? Bios and logos.
Exactly. Bios for life, logos for the study of. So it's the science of living things.
Their structure, their function, how they behave.
And how they interact with, well, everything else.
So to really define what life is, you need this checklist of traits.
Absolutely. A set of non-negotiables.
And it all seems to start with structure. First up is cellular composition.
Everything is made of at least one cell, the basic unit of life.
But the part that I found really interesting was specific organization. I mean, you look at something like a crystal and it's highly complex, very ordered.
It is, but it's a different kind of order.
So what's the difference? What makes biological organization specific?
Well, the key is that it's highly ordered in a way that performs a very specific function.
Ah, okay. It's purpose-driven.
Precisely. And maintaining that specific order, that's a constant battle that requires a ton of energy.
Right, which takes us directly to metabolism.
The engine. It's all the chemical reactions and energy transfers you need to grow to maintain yourself, to reproduce.
But that engine only really works if the internal conditions are just right.
Exactly. And that brings us to homeostasis, which is probably one of the most critical concepts here.
The body's internal thermostat.
That's a perfect analogy. You shiver when you're cold, you sweat when it's hot. It's that constant adjustment.
To keep your internal world stable, no matter what chaos is happening outside.
Yes. Without that, the specific organization we just talked about would fall apart.
So you have this organized, self-regulating machine. Now it has to interact with the world around it.
It does, in two main ways. First, there's responsiveness.
And that's the quick, immediate reaction, like a plant turning toward the light.
A direct response to a stimulus. But then there's the much bigger picture. Adaptation.
And that's the long game, right? It happens over generations. It's inherited.
It is. It's a change in structure or behavior that improves a species' chance of survival. The source uses a great example.
The light, hollow bones in flying birds.
Exactly. A structural change that makes locomotion easier. And of course, we should quickly mention that growth and reproduction are also on that mandatory checklist.
Oh, we should probably clarify one point on movement because it's a common sticking point.
A very good idea.
All life has internal movement. Things moving around inside cells, nutrients being transported.
Yes, that's essential.
But locomotion, actively moving from point A to point B is not the requirement for life.
Right. A tree is very much alive, but it isn't going for a walk.
That's a great example.
And honestly, just understanding that internal complexity shows you how hierarchical life has to be. That need for specific organization leads us perfectly into the architecture of it all.
It really is hierarchical, isn't it? Each level builds on the one before it.
Starting with the non-living building blocks, you have atoms,
which combine to form molecules.
And those molecules then create subcellular organelles, the little machinery inside the cell.
Which finally leads us to the fundamental unit of life itself, the cell.
And once you get beyond single-celled organisms, the complexity just starts stacking up.
Right. The layers build, cells organize into tissues.
Tissues come together to form specialized organs, like a heart or a lung.
Which then work together in organ systems.
All leading up to the complete organism.
But it's critical to remember, as the source notes, that tissues, organs, and organ systems aren't found in unicellular life.
A key distinction.
And if we zoom out even further, beyond the individual,
you start to see the bigger ecological picture. You get to the population level, which is a group of the same species that can interbreed.
So all the humans in a city, for instance.
A perfect example. And when you take several different populations, all the humans, all the dogs, all the pigeons, all the trees living together in that same city.
And you have a community.
Exactly. So what this all means is, life demands this incredibly high degree of ordered complexity.
A complexity that's constantly being maintained by homeostasis, and it's all powered by metabolism.
And it's organized all the way up, from atoms to entire communities. We've really just laid out the foundational language for fields as different as, say, paleontology and forensic biology.
And that brings up a final thought for you to consider. We talked about adaptation being key for a population's survival. So given the sheer interconnected scale of the human species today, where the whole planet is essentially one highly integrated biological system.
That's an interesting way to frame it.
How does that change the very concept of adaptation? What does adaptation even mean when your environment is, well, everything and everyone else all at once?